Good morning, students. Today we will continue our same topic, the powers of Prime Minister. If we are talking about the powers of Prime Minister, then Prime Minister is the link between the cabinet and the president. All the major decisions taken by the cabinet are communicated to the president through the prime minister. Means he play the role of mediator, or it is the duty of the prime minister to giving any information, each and every information related to the parliamentary activities, the cabinet, or give advice to prime minister to do all the things. Now, according to the advice of Prime Minister, President appointed and allotted work to the Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the President's advice or the Prime Minister's advice. The Prime Minister is the officio chairperson or chairman of the Council of Ministers, and headed the meetings, all the meetings. Prime Minister generally we can say that coordinate the work of various departments, means like the financial department, the military department, the security department, the home ministry, etc. All the departments, and is the link between the cabinet and the president. No minister can be appointed without the advice of prime minister. Means pm appointed any pm, if a pm give the advice to the president, then president appoint that person, that leader, that representative on a particular department's head or in the team of any departments. Means prime minister is simply we can say that he or she is the master of that cabinet. Now, prime minister and the parliament. Prime minister is the leader of Lok Sabha. Means the party got majority in the Lok Sabha elections, that party's leader became the prime minister. He is on his advice that president summons the parliament and dissolve the Lok Sabha. The prime minister is the chief spokesperson of the government. Means he is the head of the government, so entire responsibility on his shoulders. He announces all the important decisions and answer queries to all the critical questions. PM and the foreign relations. Means it is the prime responsibility of the PM that he maintain the all the foreign relations on the behalf of the entire parliament or entire nation for the growth and welfare of our nation. He maintain all the important relations, international relations forums, and attend the conferences and represent our nation on any international platform. Now, PM is the leader of the nation. He recognized as the leader of the nation, and nation looks up to him for the guidance in critical situations. Means he is responsible or accountable towards the citizens. Now, the position of the PM means he is having vast authority and huge powers. Many writers and critics point out that the parliamentary government as prime ministerial government. Means it is equally, we can say that we have a parliamentary system or government, or we have a president prime minister's form of government. He works as an authority, or depends essentially on his personality. The prime minister like Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they are the dominating, but responsible for the growth or work as a real executive authority due to their important imposing personality influences. Means this does not mean that the prime minister is a dictator, but he or she is having a great charmistic personality, dominating personality. There are some checks on his authority that he is the majority party or the ruling party's main leader. Okay, he is having the grilling nature by his powerful position, lack of absolute majority in the Lok Sabha due to the emergence of the multi-party system and coalition form of government. But the coalition form of government is better than a single majority government. In a democracy, it is better. Checks imposed by the press and public opinions, and the emerging nature of the Indian executive after the era of 1989, means from 1989 we can say that Indian political structure adopted the multi-party system's second form of government, that is called the coalition form of government. So this affected the nature of the parliamentary executive in India. Means simply we can say that the major role of the president in the selection of prime minister has increased, because no party get a simple majority, 50 plus one's majority in the parliament. So sometimes it happens that president's advice must hear. The authority of prime minister has been eroded due to the coalition nature of the Indian politics. Means he has or he must be depend on the or discussions or coalition partners. Means he maintain the trust or always be a responsible for the coalition partners. Prime minister is choosing the ministers. Their rank and portfolio has been restricted because of the coalition government. The prime minister has lost the free hand in taking all the decisions, as political parties with the different ideologies or from pre-poll and post-poll alliances to establish a government. Policies are drafted after a long backlog of decisions, deliberations, negotiations. As a result, that prime minister has become more of a negotiator rather than a leader of the government. Means he have to negotiate on each and every point. He have to maintain balance between his own party or his coalition partners. Now the council of ministers. The council of ministers, they are appointed by the president on the advice of prime minister. While appointing the council of ministers, the prime minister has to keep this thing in mind, that all the major communities and the geographical regions of the country represent equally, at least equally, equal ministry or equal department. We he keep this thing in his mind, that unity in diversity, he have to maintain the term. And according to the Constitution's 91st Amendment Act 2003 limits the size of the Union Council of Ministers 15% of the strength of Lok Sabha. It is all the ministers must be the member of parliament. If non-members is appointed as a minister, then he or she either has to be elected or nominated to either house, means to Rajya Sabha or to the Lok Sabha, within 6 months. Now the ministry classified into three ranks, that cabinet ministers. These are the head of portfolios or the departments, like the home ministry, the defense ministry, etc. Only these are entitled to attend the meetings of the cabinet. Means they are the person who are very close to the PM. PM discuss each and every point before taking his major decisions to the cabinet ministers. Ministers of the state, they are not the member of the cabinet. They may or may not have an independent charges of a ministry. They attend the cabinet ministers only when they are invited there. Means they don't have power to direct interfere in all the major decisions. Deputy ministers, they are the junior minister or the assistant of the senior ministers. Now, what is the difference between the cabinet and the council of ministers? Council of ministers is a comprehensive term, while the cabinet is just like an internal community. Means the cabinet is an important part, and council they are only the advisors type of ministers. All the members. All the member ministers of the council of ministers, while cabinet includes only the effective and experienced ministers, or practically we can say that a person who is very close to PM become the cabinet minister. The ministers of the council of ministers do not make policies. They gave only advice if required. Then, and the cabinet ministers frame the policies, the programs. The strength of the Council of Ministers is 60 to 65, while the Cabinet is 20 to 20, 15 to 20 ministers. Council of Ministers meet rarely, but Cabinet ministers meet regularly, more than 10 times in a day if it is required. Then, the functions of the Cabinet. Cabinet forms the key internal and external policies of the government, means they are the major players uh, to make the policy and programs, means they are the main person responsible for the growth and development of the nation. There is no sphere of administrations left untouched by the cabinet. After forming the policy, the cabinet works on the implementations, means they work as a legislature and they also work as the executive here. Them as a ministers are also heads of the department. Cabinet guides the various departments of administration and coordinations. They maintain coordination within their activities. Key foreign policy decisions are made by the cabinet, which include the appointment of diplomats, signing the major treaties, and declaration of war and peace. The cabinet carries out 80% of the legislation. Most of the bill of parliament, speech of the president, decisions of the on any ordinance, etc., are taken by the president only on the advice of the cabinet of the ministers, or we can say that the prime minister. The cabinet has full control over the national finance. The budget is presented by the finance minister. All the important appointments made by the president of India are done only on the advice of the cabinet of ministers. The president, in theory, we can say that he is only the head of the government, but all his above mentioned powers are exercised on the advice of the cabinet. According to the constitutional amendment of in 1976, the 42nd amendment has made it compulsory for president to accept the advice of the cabinet. Now, the relationship between the cabinet and the president. India has a parliamentary form of democracy. So here the parliamentary government, there are two types of executive, the real executive and the nominal executive, but there is a deep relation between both the executives. The simply we can say that the government is run by the cabinet in the name of the president. According to the constitution, president appoints the prime minister, and prime minister give advice to appoint the cabinet ministers, the council ministers, and the deputy ministers and other ministers. So no party commands majority. President can appoint any person as prime minister if any party did not get majority in parliament at that situation. But such an appointment, or we can say that would have to prove his majority on the floor of Lok Sabha within the 6 months. The 42nd amendment has further made it clear that the president would act as per the advice of the prime minister. The president is not a member of the house, or does not call any meeting of the cabinet, or does any meeting of the cabinet. He call a meeting when PM advise him, but neither supervise the work of the ministers nor he have any type of control over the ministers. Both these functions are performed by the prime minister. All the decisions are taken by the president, in reality taken by the cabinet, means he is prime president is always depend on the advice or recommendations given by the cabinet. The prime minister, he is having special powers, has a special responsibility towards the nation, and his cabinet means he have to maintain his confidence in parliament. He has to inform the president all the major decisions taken by the cabinet and send his token of advice on the important issues. These are the major powers or functions of the prime minister, as well as the combined form of president. Now, the relationship of Council of Ministers and Parliamentary Executive, we will discuss it in our next class.